Hi everyone, my name is Georgette Truan. I am the host of Real Talk with Miss G and the Gang, and I have my beautiful ladies, gang ladies, with me, Star, Bowman, and Lindsay.
Hello.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey guys. So I wanted to discuss a clip of a video that I watched today, and I shared it with the girls. And um, I mean, Lindsay was upset. Star was working, so she didn't have time to fully watch it. But if she, when she watches it, she's going to lose her mind. Lindsay, why don't you go ahead and start with it?
Yeah, so oh my goodness, it just goes to show you that most of society does not realize how big of an issue this is.
Mm,
And I feel like maybe now people are starting to open their eyes to that, and this video just solidified that belief for me. Because it just it hits so close to the people that were in the video. It hit so close to home for them, and that just it really showed me like, okay, it's not just here, it's everywhere, and we're waking up.
mhm. You want to go ahead and describe what happened in the video?
Yeah, so there is a team that will pretend to be children, and they will go online and have basically predators reach out to them,
Hmm.
and then they turn them into the police and take care of that. But the team actually was contacted by a man that they ended up finding out was a big wig in an Oklahoma Child Services department.
Hmm. He
And they
was
were just
he's a
heartbroken.
social worker. Social worker.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a social worker. And when they found out who he is, his identity, when his identity was revealed to them, how did they react?
They were shocked. I mean, you could just see the shock wash over them. And like they even cried. They
Mhm.
cried because they genuinely believed in the system, just like I did back in the day. You really are taught to believe in them. And
Mhm.
that just showed them that it, even people in that system are, well, we already know, but they didn't know. And now they do. And it hurts to find that out.
And one of the detectives said what? She said, I can't wait to see him behind bars.
Yep.
Can't wait to see him behind bars. I'm sorry. I watched, damn, my every time I talk, Siri talks to me. Um, but honestly, when I watched that video, I watched it 5 times and I couldn't sleep all night. I literally did not sleep all night long. So I'm letting you guys know that people are starting to wake up. Not everybody in the United States, but they're starting to wake up. And I just want you guys all to know, whoever watches this video, that in order for the Department of Children and Family Services to receive the incentives from the federal government, there has to be some kind of removal. If there is no division from child and parent, there is no funding.
Yeah.
So that's why they make sure that they remove the children. And yes, they remove good children from good parents, not bad parents. Like I told you guys before, the damaged children are not removed because, according to the social worker supervisor, they're not adoptable. They're not
They're not
adoptable.
adoptable.
Hmm.
Yep, they just want babies that are pretty that they can basically peddle. And it's disgusting. It's despicable.
Hmm. And you know what's what? And I mentioned this before too. The social workers that resigned from the department after I think a year, they all showed me. Both of them showed me proof. That's LA County, that the supervisor targets certain types of family, especially if you're taking cash aid and food stamps because of the recession or because you're struggling as a mother, they come after you. DPSS and DCFS work together. They work together.
What did the two ones say
Yeah,
again?
can you explain what those acronyms are? Because I don't know what those are from
Yeah.
Michigan.
DPSS is where people who lost their job or something happened financially to them, they go and collect food stamps for their children and them and cash aid to help them out.
Okay, so here it's called the Department of Human Services,
Mhm.
and the acronym for it is DHS. But it's funny you say that they're connected and they work together, because here they actually are connected.
Mhm. I know.
Hmm.
And literally, if a social worker tells, um, where you get your food stamps and cash aid department, um, when they talk to each other, they say, okay, this lady's been on this service for about a year. So anytime a year or more, they target you. And they know how many kids you have because the kids become a number, a case number.
Oh yeah, because you're
They know
signing up
the
for
ages. They
help
know
for
the
the
ages.
kids.
Correct. They know the ages of the children. They know everything about the kid.
Um,
That's what I was saying too last week about having pictures too. Most
Mhm.
states they'll have them come in and then they'll have a catalog just freely available. It's for people to browse through.
that
Right.
blows my mind still.
Right. So
I,
that's
I honestly
exactly.
think, yeah.
Yeah, they do. And when they take pictures of the children, those girls told me that when they take pictures of the kids, it's not for to show bruises or no bruises or the kids are okay, because they
Hmm.
undress the children.
Oh,
They undress them.
Hmm.
Interesting, isn't it?
I don't remember that in my state, but yeah,
In
it
LA,
breaks my
that's
heart.
crazy.
Here in
California,
Michigan, they do that. They like when they come to view an infant, for
and
example,
yep,
they will
Okay.
have you
ages,
completely
right,
remove everything.
ages 0 until age 4 or 5.
Yeah, here I think
Wow.
it's 5, but yeah, it's about that age.
Yeah, age 4 or 5.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. And they both showed me text messages from their supervisor. So what happens is, if a social worker protects her supervisor by lying for her supervisor on the stand, for example, that social worker is going to get a promotion, not fired, but they're going to get a promotion because
Mm.
he or she protected their supervisor. So he or she go with the supervisor's wishes. Now,
I
if you're
also,
against that, yeah, if you're against it, then you resign. If you're not against it and you get joy out of it, then you're a demonic idiot. So the ones that stay in the department, they're not there to help children. I'm sorry. They're there because they enjoy the pain they inflict on parents.
Yep.
Because I told you guys before, the system is narcissistic, sociopathic, because only those two get joy out of misery
very true.
because they feel power when
Yeah.
they see you miserable, because they feel that they created this. They feel that they did this. So when you create it, you become powerful. That's the government today as we speak. So they want you silent. Why? Because if you're not silent, you're going to
Shine a
grow.
light on it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But grow. When you grow and you get as many people hearing you and seeing the truth, they're going to go against the government. Now, if we all, as a nation, go against the government, they're going to fall.
Yep.
So that's why they want us silent. And that's why they don't want anyone to spread the truth, the actual truth.
Yep.
And
They
those
don't
girls,
want us affecting
yeah,
change.
yep. And those girls told me that if the department knows who they are, they will be retaliated against.
Did they
And
tell,
they
did
will
they give
go,
examples?
I'm sorry, what, Star?
Did they give any examples of that?
What they do, okay, this is what happens. A supervisor would tell the social worker, oh, we lost Lindsay again. She's going to come back on
Oh
our
yeah,
show.
we did. Yeah,
She
she'll
had
be
a
back on.
store. Yeah, here she is. She had a
Sorry.
store. Her Wi-Fi is gonna.
Yep, my Wi-Fi is not working. Sorry,
So
thunderstorm.
no problem. So what happens is, for example, the social worker, the supervisor would tell them, um, there was an anonymous call reported, right? But oftentimes the anonymous calls don't come from your family or friends. They actually come from a social worker, another social worker. So they
Hmm.
designate people
Hmm.
to do that because they can see the record already with DPSS.
See, I didn't know that they. Well, I guess it makes sense. And looking at it now, it's foolish that I didn't realize it. But I didn't realize that social workers called on families for
It's
other social
anonymous.
workers.
It's anonymous. It's anonymous. So oftentimes I was told that they go to the home and say there was a call reported, but nobody called.
Hmm.
Then the family will suspect is okay, it's my sister who I had a fight with last Thanksgiving, or it's my coworker because she's a bitch from hell and she's retaliating against me. So they make them think. Remember, confusion, and division is what the enemy wants. So you go against your whole family. And then guess what? You
Hmm.
have no support. No financial support, no emotional support at all. They want to alienate you from your
Yeah.
family and friends because in order for them to alienate you, they're going to have power over you because normally a mother, especially a true mother, suffers in ways no one could ever process when they snatch their children from them.
Miss G, that's actually exactly what's happening to me. Like what has the last 2.5 years of my life since CYS has been involved,
Mhm.
the constant stalking, the following, the cars, losing my job for no reason, having them now recently got my 18-year-old against me. You know,
Yep.
my oldest son sitting there, he's saying the god of most awful things. And I'm like, where is this coming from? You know what I'm
Them.
saying? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. And
Them.
it's literally left me so isolated and alienated that it's crazy. It doesn't make no sense. It really
Exactly.
doesn't.
You're absolutely right. And they do that. And a lot of people in America don't realize that. They actually think the system works, but they haven't gotten into it yet. Get it? When they do feel the pain, then they call and say, Miss G, I never knew. I used to think that these are bad mothers, but I'm not a bad
Yep.
mom. And I always defend mothers. Why? Because they're the closest link to a child. See, fathers don't feel the connection we have when we conceive a child. There's a connection. Get it?
Mm-hmm.
So when you don't feel that, right? Fathers are normally protectors of their home, of their kids, of their wives. But the actual pain that the mother feels completely different. Is the most crucial pain on the face of the planet. So it's not that I'm against dads because I'm my dad's little girl. I love my father so much and my mom. So that doesn't mean that. It means that the woman is attacked, whether she calls for protection, if she goes to a domestic violence shelter as she was told to do,
Mm-hmm.
she gets targeted there
Yep.
and they alienate the children from her and then she becomes weakened. If she doesn't do drugs, she damn drinks herself to sleep. And then they say she's an alcoholic.
Mm-hmm.
They tried to do that to me. Well, not with drugs or alcohol, but like my emotions.
Mm-hmm.
So because I was fighting so hard and would not bend to what they wanted me to do or say, they tried to say that I was unstable.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You make me unstable.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
They actually said in my case that my trauma, that I grew up with parents who did not give me the proper parenting. And I've been through so much trauma that they don't think I may not have the ability to parent. It's like almost like it didn't even happen yet, but we're going to throw it out there statistically. It should happen. So we're just going to hold that against you.
It's kind of like funny that you say that. It's kind of like uh, tarot cards readers, whatever. Those people.
Um,
Um, they can they say things like that. You know, they predict the future is going to be this and this and that, right? And some people believe them, correct? But it's actually a part of witchcraft, correct? So
Yeah.
what the devil wants you to hear is not really victory, obviously. What the devil wants you to hear, and I'm talking about the social workers because they're demonic, they're literally possessed. Okay. What they want you to hear is that
it's
you
weird.
have a horrible past, and that's what they're going to focus on. When
Hmm.
you really never had a horrible past, or that you did and you want better for your children because you already felt how it is growing up, right? So you
Yep.
have two sets of people: ones who never had a bad past, they had a healthy childhood, and the others who their parents were crazy, but then they said, you know what, I'm not going to have my children do that, be subjected to that. So they changed, right, to the better for their children. But what does
Well,
the
it's
enemy do? Attack your past. Or if you don't have a past, creates a past that's false, right?
I was going to say that too, that the people who do the evaluations
Mhm.
I know in my case, isn't even like real. Like he has like a medical license and all that, but it's when you look him up and where he's supposed to be working, he doesn't work there. He never did. Has all these complaints against him for the same thing where he just kind of leads into things that aren't there and,
I'm
makes the
glad you said
diagnoses and stuff.
I'm glad you said that. Let me answer that, okay?
Hmm.
Let me enlighten you. The reason they have a criminal past or false presumption of who they are, um, is because the social workers have control over them, right?
Right.
They have to have someone that has something against them to control them. That's why when
Mm.
they go to big doctors, they threaten them that if they don't do what they tell them to do, they're going to lose their license. So they become bullies. So they bully the doctors. So in order for them to win, they're going to somebody who's had like a medical malpractice or something in their past that stops them from, you know, working somewhere else. So they take them and they become their puppet.
So basically, like blackmail.
Correct. There's a lot of, if you guys search in LA County, um, there's a lot of attorneys, and I can't name them if I want to, but there's a lot of attorneys that have a criminal past. They're not part of the bar. They're part of the state. It's like they're literally working for the state. But if they go to a private firm to get hired and they have that type of past, they will not be hired because their credibility is shit.
Right.
There's there's attorneys that uh, you know lost their license. Somehow the state took them. Weird, huh? There's a lot of stuff going on. There are social workers that have DUI records against them, but they still have a job. There's a lot of social workers who are sleeping with a pedophile or somebody that just came out of prison for, you know, molesting a minor.
Do you ever hear them getting sued and actually winning?
You can't sue a social worker.
You can't sue CYS?
You can sue them.
Well, you could sue
You
the
can't sue a
department as a whole, but
whole,
not
Right.
individuals.
not individuals. They don't get fired unless like that girl, that teenager in Texas that recorded the social worker in front of the building telling her that to become a prostitute, and she
Hmm.
will share the profit with her.
Oh my goodness. Are you
I heard about
freaking
that.
kidding me?
No,
Yeah.
she was fired.
That's gross.
Mhm.
I got one of them fired.
Yep. But you have to have a very strong team of attorneys to help you, because they will go around it.
Hmm.
They will go around it.
Yeah, it
That's
was hard
wild. I messed up.
to get the one gone from my experience. It was really difficult, but I mean,
How did
we
you
did
do
end
it?
up getting her fired, but
How
the
did you what?
supervisor's still there, so like what good does that do?
Do you
They
know the
brought
steps you took for that?
the what, babe?
What the steps that she took for that? Like, did she mind sharing that?
Oh, I just got a really ruthless attorney and said, "Look,
Okay.
here's what I want to do. This is where I want this to end." She was like, "I'm on it."
Okay. Okay.
I gave her all of my documentation. She did have me write out some statements. So you have to word things extremely carefully when you are in a lawsuit with
Okay.
these people, because they will take every chance they can to twist your words. So I was extremely careful about every word choice that I had. I explained things as a neutral party, so I tried to keep my emotion out of it, because otherwise they will come back and it bites you hard. But yeah, I just tried to
Lindsay,
remain neutral.
Lindsay, don't be afraid of these people, babe.
Oh, I'm not. I just didn't want. I guess I didn't want to ruin my chances before they ever even started. Does that make sense?
Yes, I do understand. But the thing is, when you fear them, they actually feel empowered.
Yeah.
If you feed onto your enemy, you have to show them fear. Don't
I
fear them. No one should fear these people just because they have your children. That's
I
only
actually stuck up to my caseworker, and it seemed like she backed off a little bit. Like when I actually was assertive, I mean, it wasn't overboard or anything, but I kind of told her how it really was, and show her herself, kind of like, you know what I'm saying? And it actually helped a little bit in my case, where
Yeah,
she
you got to
backed off a
stand your
little bit.
ground.
Yeah,
well. Even if you show them who they are, they just send you another one who doesn't give a fuck.
Yep.
very true.
So it doesn't
Very
matter,
true.
because you have good, bad, and the ugly. So the good is only temporary good to get you to trust them. Then they switch it, and then they get you the bad, and then
And
they
I
switch
found
the
out
bad and get you the ugly. Yeah.
I found out too that they're working, what you're saying with the DHS, and they're working with a couple different agencies. They're also, in my case, even I found out with juvenile probation. So if
Hmm.
your child, God forbid, is in some type of criminal matter,
Hmm.
at the same time, in my case, even they've used that against us, where they'll make it a stipulation against your child's like probation.
Hmm.
Then if they violate or they see, go against that, they're going back to jail, or they're going to have more time put on them.
Yep.
And in court, when I watched this took place, and the probation officers and even his supervisor were like scared of them. It was uncanny to see that. You know what I mean? Like these people are actually really scared by this, like, or blackmailed, or whatever, the case may be.
It's crazy, isn't it? How manipulated they have everyone.
Yep.
And like, it's almost like they excuse the behavior because it's like, okay, well, they're doing it for the right reason. No, they're not. But, that's what they have people thinking.
Okay, guys, listen to Lydia. She said, "How do you get a foster mom not allow her to teach infants that she is their mom, and to call her mom, to call her that, to call her mom.
Mm.
Now, Lydia, I mean, ladies, go ahead, start first, and I'll speak to her too after. What's your what would you tell Lydia? What would you tell her?
Star, go ahead.
Is she asking as far as whether or not to try to prevent that from happening? Is that what she's saying? From the
I think
foster
she's
mom
asking
to
how you get them to not do that, or how do you assert the right that you are still their parent and they
what
are
I
not their
did,
parent.
what I personally did was because this was actually going on with with the foster mom for my daughter, and my daughter being so young, she kept calling her mom as well. Is I've reiterated it a lot when I see her at visits. I'd make sure that she remembers, and if she for a time being called her a certain thing, I didn't want to really confuse her too much right then and there, but I would, because they watch everything you do in visits, you know what I'm saying? So they'll be like all on that. So, I mean, I just reiterated who mommy was, who I am, and kind of went from there.
So for me, I never experienced that. Thankfully, I didn't have that experience, but I do have a lot of people that I am now friends with that did have that experience. And as far as in Michigan, there is no rule that says that foster families can't do that. Although I think that it should be a rule. I don't think that it's appropriate to confuse kids that way and put them through more emotional turmoil than what they're already going through.
I
Um,
also think that they do it too for reasons from a standpoint of losing the bond with your child, because they have to prove that in the termination hearing, is that the bond's lost. So if they can get them more addicted to the foster parent than the mother, then they can show that in court.
yep, exactly.
Okay, now let me educate both of you and Lydia. Okay, there is two homes. There's an adoptive foster home, and there's a foster home for just placement, temporary placement. When they put a baby, an infant, when they take an infant from a mom, they already 100 steps ahead of you guys. They want to put that infant in the adoptive home.
Mm.
They tell the adoptive foster parents, hey, do you guys want to adopt this infant? They say yes. We're going to work on it. That's before the mother knew that they're going to adopt her baby. See, when I say they're 100 steps ahead of the mom, they really are 100 steps. The mother even haven't had her first hearing yet. Detention hearing, she hasn't even had it. So they put the baby in the adoptive home, and then the adoptive family is clueless because they think that mother is the worst um, being on the face of the earth, and they just go by the allegations, the false allegations from the social worker. So if they get that baby adopted, they're going to get funding for that adoption, not the foster parents, the social workers. I mean, the department, that county's department. They're going to get money, more money for adoption. So that's why they do what they do. So lawyer up, Lydia, lawyer up. You can't stop them just because you spoke. You have to lawyer up. You have to get a juvenile dependency attorney, not a family law attorney. Family law attorneys don't know crap about CPS jurisdiction laws. They don't know shit about the state laws. Because that state judge, that scumbag, is higher courts than family courts. When you're in family court, it's you against your opposing partner, your ex or whatever. But when you're in juvenile court, state court, you are so low against the county and the state. You're so low. Even if you're married, your husband and you have to have separate attorneys. Okay? So you can't stop them. You can't retaliate against them because they're going to make you crazier than what they already said you were. So
I know.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, Miss G. I don't know
No,
what you mean. Go ahead.
are you
No,
sure?
I was just gonna say. No, I was just gonna say. Even in my case, they already had their mind made up.
Yeah.
Like I had to sign them over because I went to jail and I didn't have anybody to, look after them, and I had a DUI to handle. And I made a mistake and had to deal with that. I didn't have family to watch her. So when I signed her over, 2 weeks later, I found out this way months later. They had it in her file. It
Mhm.
said in their writing in their goals part that they had it prepared and her adoption papers ready to go in the back of her file. That was 3 weeks into it.
Mhm.
Like they had their mind made up from the start.
Yeah. They know. Believe me, they know what they're doing. That's why I call them demons. And I was attacked for saying that on the last week's show. Somebody wrote like, you lost all credibility when you said they're possessed by demons, right? Of
Your
course I am.
belief is your belief. They don't have to subscribe to that.
It's not about belief, honey. It's a fact. This
Well,
is
I'm just saying, like, from their perspective, you don't need to jump on the bandwagon. Just mind your business. Let it go.
Thank
It's
you for
okay
that.
for us to believe whatever we believe, you know?
Thank you for
This is
that.
your show.
No, but
Yeah, right.
honestly, that could be either a social worker or a hater. Either way,
Hmm.
only a social worker will do that, will say something like that, or a hater. It doesn't matter. Either way, they're going to have to say something because when you're saying the truth, you're being attacked. See, the truth is
Yep.
always attacked, but the lies are left alone. So when you're attacked for sharing the truth,
You
then
know
you
you're doing something right.
that's right. So it made me smile actually, but I did answer that person. I did,
Hey,
and I
Miss
did
G, can you go back a comment? Because there was a comment, um, somebody commented.
this one. I'm in
Yep,
Pennsylvania. Yeah,
yep, I can't see the name, like I can't read the name,
mixed
but,
cupcakes. Mixed cupcakes. Says I am in Pennsylvania. Is there anyone who can point me to some of the right people in my area? I am 12 months into it with CPS. Please, I
Mm.
need help. Oh my God. Why did you wait
Well,
so long? I'm not understanding. Why did you wait 12 months? 12 months is
that's a
literally
long time to let them run your life.
yeah. They're
well, a
going
lot of times though, even in my case, I was out about that long before I realized, well, a little bit before that, that this wasn't right. Like I had no idea before going into this that there was
No,
something wrong
yeah,
and
you
that you could
don't.
not trust these people. You know what I mean? Like they kind of keep it hidden in the very beginning and then it kind of comes out towards the end.
Which is
correct.
And
why
it's like,
this is important. This conversation
yes,
needs to be loud because
yes,
people don't know. And
yep.
as far as that comment, I am hoping to have a website up by the end of next week that we can hopefully send people to for comments like these.
Yeah.
And I would say for PA too, I don't know what county she's from. I'm in Pennsylvania as
It's
well,
Erie
and
County. Erie County. ERIE.
Erie. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's at the left corner of the state.
Oh my God. Sorry, that's Siri
Um,
again.
but what I'd recommend if you didn't already do it is, I know I was appointed a lawyer through the conflict council, um, because of, just because they have to. And I got rid of them. And I started calling around and like Miss G said, getting a specific type of lawyer. That was the best thing I could have done because he knew exactly what to file and how to be aggressive with them in that way where I could have stepped back and not got my emotions involved so much because I, was kind of, it takes you out of your character. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
Yes.
is then he spoke for me and it kind of put that off of me and then things were actually able to be done.
Yeah. But see, she said she has a public defender. But mixed cupcakes, honey, public defenders don't do
They
anything.
work with them.
They work with them. They get paid by the
Yes.
state. I mean, that's where Davis and I disagree. He thinks there's some good. There are none.
I haven't
Because
seen
if they
any.
go against the state, well, guess what? You're shit out of luck. And guess what? You think the state is going to keep them? Think about
Mine
it.
were
Right.
hanging out on the weekends, going to casinos and stuff together and bragging about it in court at that next hearing.
I know.
Oh,
They do that all the time.
Yep.
And they talk about their card game Friday nights, you know?
Yes. Yep.
And they're getting their drinks on and all that.
Yep. Yep.
They're all in on it. Judges, attorneys, district attorneys.
Because you'll see them. You'll see the actual caseworkers talk differently to a real hired lawyer compared to like the
yeah.
public defender. Because I noticed that before, where I got a lawyer, and she's like, "Well, I can't talk to him without my lawyer present." Well, what do you mean? You did that like all the time with the other
See?
girl.
Right.
And she's just like, yeah, but we can't do that. Well, you were clearly okay with it before, but okay, we'll do that.
What
So
changed?
What changed
yeah,
is
right.
that person hired a third
An
party.
actual driven attorney. Yeah. Yep.
But then again, I'm going to tell you now, and I love it. I don't want to say love this guy, but he's done enough for me. Okay, my lawyer that I have, but he's changed too.
Mhm.
And at the end of the day, if these people are that powerful to persuade, juvenile probation and all these other departments and agencies, why would my lawyer be any different? And when my lawyer started acting a little bit different with me, and kind of not giving me as much advice and getting, so you just got to be very cautious even when you do that. I
Mhm.
basically did this stuff on my own. I researched. I basically, if I could, if it was in my state allowed, I'd do this myself. I'd represent myself because I'm the only one that can trust is me.
You know, she just said that. Makes Cupcakes just said, because I trusted the system. That's the problem. We trust our government way too much. And you know what's so sad? Our government is playing the demonic cards with us, and we're so stupid. As a nation, we are dumb because
Ignorant.
we're ignorant to the truth. And we're stupid. You know why? Because when you're stupid, you see evidence, you hear the truth, but you still believe the lies in your head. And because you're fed, well, you're like literally fed with those lies all your life, whether it's at school or whether it's your best friend, it doesn't matter. You know,
One
the
second,
government
guys.
is not for us, period. It's not for us. Because if they were for us, our children would not be sex trafficked.
Absolutely.
Okay? Our children will not be traumatized and
Sorry,
given
guys.
drugs to keep them silent.
Yep.
Our children will be healthy. They don't have to go to school and learn about how sexual positions between a man and a man is. What is it is having the boy's private part inside another boy's private part.
Regardless of boy and boy or girl and girl, it doesn't matter. Like at the end of the day, this is not okay.
It's
And we
not
all
okay.
just need to make that the bottom line.
But listen to me. That I'm really pissed about that. Let me tell you why. Because see, we didn't care. People didn't care about gays and lesbians. It's not until they introduced you to the children in schools.
Exactly. Yeah.
Drag queens dancing, showing their private part in front of a child while the mothers are clapping their hands and the teacher are promoting it. It was not okay when they did that. And it's not okay, but their lifestyle, you don't enforce your lifestyle on me
Right.
or my children. You didn't exist in my head before.
Right.
I didn't think about them. I honestly God didn't.
No, because it's not being shoved down your throat, right?
Exactly. But they're claiming they're being attacked when they're attacking us. They're
Yep.
attacking mankind and they're playing the victim. Why? Because in the White House, who is gay? Think about it. Everybody knows her. I know most of you guys know her. She's protecting them because she's one of them. But us people, I didn't know. Even my friend who's gay, I've known him since high school. He's against what they're doing. He's against forcing children to do, convince them that they're boys if they're girls, and if they're girls, they're boys. Even he is against it. Sex
Causing
change
confusion.
to a minor
Mm.
when they don't even know what they're going to eat or what they're
Right.
going to wear in school or how their hair feels or complain about a pimple.
Yeah, they've got it hard enough.
And then they don't know who they really are either. They
But
get
the
so
devil-
confused and all that.
There you go. But the devil's attacking the children. There, he's
Sure,
attacking
yeah.
the future. So, yeah, the devil wants division. God wants union. The devil wants division. And he's succeeding. And for the drag queens to dress up like Madonna and on the cross, and they're doing like there was a Jesus in LA County, a Jesus on the
Mocking.
cross, an actor, and the drag queen is like wearing heels and dancing all over him with sexual shit, right?
That's
crazy
just
to me.
not, it's not family friendly.
Exactly, you're attacking
It's
us.
mocking Jesus and
You're
mocking it.
mocking Jesus, and you're telling people that we're attacking you. I don't want you to be in the bathroom where my child is. How many of them did they rape in the bathroom? Men dressed like women. A lot. Because they're in a women's bathroom.
And sadly, like, nobody wants to really dive into it. Nobody wants to say it, right?
I say it. I don't care.
I know you do. I know you do. But like the majority of people will not speak to that because it's so taboo. But you know what? We need to be talking about this. This is important. It's an important issue.
Yeah, because now they've passed a bill that if a mother objects with the school about their child being a boy or a girl,
they can be taken.
The state has the right to take the child from you. Think about it, America.
Yeah.
Think.
Just
freaking
Roe
think.
versus Wade. Roe versus Wade too.
Think about it. Think about it.
We are living now in a world that I don't recognize anymore.
Yeah.
And it's terrifying.
I was talking to my friend. I wish he can be on the show with me. He's, like I said, he's gay. He came out in high school, and I was the only one he said that to, by the way. He told me that he doesn't like girls. And we talk about this matter all the time. And he said to me that for a government to do that, there actually must be possessed by demons. Because
they're also doing it with the hormones.
The hormones too. And you know where they put hormones too? In melatonin.
Everywhere.
No, melatonin. Remember that?
Really?
Yeah, there's a doctor that spoke about it. Melatonin, they have, if you give it to a boy, it shrinks their
I don't have to research all that. I'm interested now.
I gave it to my boys. I gave that to my boys. Oh,
Don't
wow.
I did to my oldest when he was very young.
No,
I don't anymore. But
we all have melatonin in our body naturally. So they must be adding it
to it. But the over-counter tablets or whatever are probably what have them in it.
Even the over-counter cough medicine, they have like traces of drugs, and then they tell parents you're on drugs. No, you're not on drugs. They're not on drugs.
Or vaccines.
They tried that with me too.
But in order for them to get an expert to testify in court, that expert requires money. So guess what? The judge takes the recommendation of the worker blindly because they're stupid. They're so stupid. They don't know shit. They actually are stupid. Just because you graduated law school, became a fucking attorney, and then became a judge, it doesn't make you a fucking expert.
Oh no, they're in on it. My case, my judge is down straight up in it, and like is like anything they say, granted. You know, it doesn't even
Yep.
matter what. We didn't even get a chance to like say anything.
Correct.
Within
Correct.
minutes, though, like literally within minutes, and then
Yeah.
he'll take forever to answer our stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Because they're morons.
They want to divide the families. They don't want union. They don't. They don't want any union at all between a husband and wife. You know,
You know what? Go ahead. Sorry.
this people say they're born that way. They're not born that way. You're born with a or a, you know.
Well,
I
they
don't know.
say that with the vaccines that they've been giving us, and I know when I was a kid, I didn't have half of what they wanted to give my children.
Yeah, I
And
know.
between that and the stuff that they're putting in our food, the processed foods, the fast foods, the chemtrails, the in the air, in their water, it's creating such a change in a lot of our kids' generation, and it's because and they're like confused almost, like they don't. It's like it's messing with their DNA and their makeup.
I know. Did you guys hear what happened to this father? I'm actually starting a page for him to get donation for him. His girlfriend, they have one son, and the son is like 3 years old, something like that. And his girlfriend dresses the boy like a girl. Then the father asked him, he was on video. The father asked him, "Baby, why do you want to dress like a girl?" Because my mom told me I was a girl. And he said, "Do you think you're a girl?" He says, "Well, mommy says I'm a girl. So mommy puts nail polish on me and she puts little bows on me and pretty things on me." She
Mm-mm-mm.
said, "Because I'm a girl." So the father, talked to her. He said, "Hey, what are you doing? This kid went from playing baseball with me to this. Like, why would you dress him like a girl? Did he say he was a girl?" She said, "No, but I see him as a girl." So she took him to court. She got full legal custody.
Are
And
you freaking kidding me?
they put a restraining order on the father.
Yeah, they say that you can't even up to age 4 if they want to be considered whatever you're supposed to call them babies.
But the boy didn't say he's considered a girl. He
Right,
didn't
the
say
mom did.
anything about that. He said, "My mom told me I was a girl." That was the mother's strategy, demonic strategy, to get custody from him.
I just can't, like,
Now people are going to use it as weapon. See? Now, people think I'm against fathers. I'm not. But this dad here, that's messed up what they did to him. That is messed up.
absolutely it is.
Identify as a girl. You must be out of your cotton picket mind. What the, like, what the, if you have a penis, you're a man. If you have a
Satan,
vagina, you're a woman. What the
Satan's trying to
fuck is wrong
pervert.
with people?
Yep,
Exactly.
he's trying to pervert it. Yep.
Exactly. I am not, okay. Women's sports. Men are dressed like women are now in women's sports. They're
Wait,
identifying
really?
as women. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I haven't. Well, I
So
haven't
you
been even
guys,
watching
Yeah,
TV.
that's like a big one.
that's a big one. That's a big one. The president gave a drag queen
Oh yeah.
a woman's award.
I don't understand. Like,
So
I'm
women,
all for you being you, and like that's cool with me. I'm good with that, but don't shove it down my throat, one. And two, don't shove it in front of my kids. Like I'm not good with that. And
exactly.
then if my daughter wanted to compete
Yep.
in a sport,
Yep.
you're seriously going to sit here and tell me that a boy the same age could come in, potentially hurt her,
Actually, yep.
and it's okay because they think they identify as a girl.
Right.
I'm sorry,
Well,
no.
You even forgot the ones where you can identify as an animal now and have litter boxes in your classroom.
Oh yeah, did you hear about
What?
that? Yeah,
Oh
a kid
yeah,
identifies as a
and
cat. I heard about that. A
yes,
kid
it's in
identifies
my
as a
state.
cat. And the teacher, by law, has to have a litter box, and that's
If
where the
that's
kid
what she
has to
wants.
pee and poop.
Yep, it could be raccoon. They can identify as a couch and not move.
I am
It's
so
like it's
sorry,
getting
but we are
ridiculous.
just a nation of morons. I
Yeah,
can't.
a little bit.
Well, I identify as something today. I'm gonna identify as a bitch. Now what? I'm gonna
Oh,
identify as a bitch, and I'm gonna say government, fuck you. I'm gonna say social worker,
yes,
fuck you. I'm gonna
I'm
say
coming for him.
CPS courts, fuck you. Court appointed attorneys, fuck you.
Fuck them too.
And
So
I'm coming for all
I
y'all.
identify today as a bitch. So what the fuck you gonna do? I'm a bitch today. Well, you're gonna
Oh, I
tell me I
love it.
can't? So that's
No.
exactly what's happening right now.
Hmm.
That's
Uh,
exactly, they took God out of the equation completely, and they're
Hmm.
inviting Satan in. That's
Yes,
exactly what they're doing.
literal curriculum in the PA
Yep.
last summer. Their literal curriculum. It has the as of below, so below the whole, statue thing, like
Mhm.
all that. But they can't talk about God.
They're forbidden to mention God. All the
They took
Christian
it out of the Pledge
moms.
of Allegiance.
Oh yeah.
Even
When I was going to school, you know what my favorite part of the day was? As God is my witness, the Pledge of Allegiance.
the Pledge of Allegiance. Yeah.
When I get to the part in God we trust, I loved it. I was like, the teacher was like, Georgette, if you could say this all day, you would just love it. I'm like, yeah, I know. I love it. I mean, and then my goddaughter is like, Auntie, we can't say on God we trust. You know that's forbidden. One time she said that to me. And I
oh,
was oblivious to what's going on in the state. I didn't know that they took it out. I had no idea because I was dealing with so much. And then she told me we can't say God because we get in trouble. The principal will take us to the office and call our parents. They take it to that level.
that's
But
ridiculous. They're
isn't it?
children.
But
The end times, that's for sure.
it is. But you know what? When something is right, it's going to be attacked. If they do this to the Quran, for example, you honestly think Muslims are going to let it go?
Oh,
Oh, hell no. They're going to take their balls to the Middle East and crack it open.
Yeah.
You actually think they're going to just sit there and take it? Uh-uh. But
no way.
why is Christianity the only one being attacked? Because God mentioned Sodom and Gomorrah in the Bible? Because Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed? For what they're doing now? Well, guess what? That's between you and God. We are not going to judge your asses. But when you come and force us to accommodate your asses, we're going to
Yep.
put a stop to it. So this did not start with us, you depleted idiots. It started with you and the
And
government.
in the Bible, it says that God has a special punishment for people who mess with kids like this.
Yep, that's true. It's true. A lot of people hate it when I talk like that, and I don't give a shit. I, honest to God, came to a point in my life when I said to myself, you know what, a couple of days ago, fuck everyone.
Hmm. Yep. I said I'm not
I
same thing. I
literally
said I'm
have
not
no
being a
more
victim no
fucks to
more.
sell. Yeah, I have
Yep.
no more fucks to sell, really,
Yep.
honestly, because I don't care. I don't care. The truth hurts. So fuck anyone that doesn't want to hear the truth.
Absolutely.
That's the way I look at it. That's why I want us to have that channel, the podcast, to be
Yep.
able to speak our minds.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
try
It
to
won't be
accommodate
censored. So,
YouTube. Get it? Because I'm getting sick of it.
yeah.
You know what,
I'm getting
Miss
sick
G
of it.
too. If it wasn't for you, when we contacted each other, I would not have. Everything just kind of seems like it's in my head. You know what I mean? Like it just can't all be happening. This is just too much. And when I started hearing that other people thought the same thing and they have, you know what I mean? I was like, wow, maybe this is not all in my head and my intuition is leading me right. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So thank you for that.
You're welcome. And you know what, baby? A lot of mothers say the same thing to me. Miss G, I thought I was going crazy. And the social worker told mothers, you know what they tell mothers? You need drugs. You need drugs. Did you hear that before?
I did.
Yep, you need
They kept
drugs.
telling me that I was unstable and I needed to be medicated.
There you go. And if you're not medicated, guess what happens to you? They're gonna take
They,
your kid from you.
yep, they'll go right for it.
Yes, ma'am. If you're not medicated, they will come after you. So it's
Big
damn
pharma money right there. I'm telling you. I know that that's what's driving it.
Absolutely.
They try to
Absolutely.
diagnose me with something within a 4-hour session that I've never been diagnosed with before in my life. And then they'll just say, well, you're unstable. I'll
Yep.
just say, okay.
Ramon Miranda, I love you for that comment. He said, curse the man who puts his faith in man and bless the man who puts his faith in God.
Thank God.
And he's so handsome. You guys see his picture? He's so handsome.
He is a good looking guy.
Good looking. My goodness. He said, leave my job, family for 60 days to rehab, but my son is still in foster care. They allow me 1 hour a month to see him, and I cannot be gone for 60 days knowing my son is not with my family. Well, first of all, Ramon, what state is this in? Because if it's California, I'll be happy to help you.
If you're in Michigan or near, I got you.
And then if you're in Pennsylvania, Star got you.
I got you here.
God has you first, of course.
Absolutely.
Riverside. Okay.
Where's
Ramon.
that? California?
Yep. LA
Oh, there
County.
you go.
Ramon, I was just in Riverside last week with Davis on a trial. And that was a ride from hell. Okay. Riverside sucks. But what the hell? I'm just gonna put my phone number. Okay. So hold on. I'm gonna put it for everyone. Miss G. Oh. Sorry guys, I don't know how to do this. Miss G, so okay, whatever. Okay. Here. Ramon, I want you to call me or text me your full name first of all and put your county on this number. Okay. And I use this number for work too, but I don't give it to the world, but here it is. And we can talk about your case because by law, they have to place your children with family members first. By law.
Yep.
And they cannot, but it depends on how old your children are. Now remember, they know what they need to do depending on the child's age. If your child is under 7 years old, you better believe they're going to put that child in an adoptive home. If your child is an infant, that child is already put there from before they even met you face to face. So what I'm trying to tell you is that they're way ahead of you. While you think you need, rehab and all this, they're sending people to rehab who are smoking marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
Marijuana that's legal in California. And they did a study that marijuana actually doesn't even cause
Dependency.
doesn't
I was
cause
gonna
lung
say that.
cancer. Lung cancer is caused by cigarettes, not marijuana. Believe it or not, they give marijuana to patients who suffer from cancer. And I'm not saying to excessively do it. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is they're putting people in rehab that depend on marijuana to go to sleep. Meaning they only smoke a little bit to go to sleep.
It's a
right?
waste of resources.
Yeah, they're sending them to rehabs. They're taking children from people who smoke marijuana. I mean, just think about it for a minute. So you made it legal. It's legal. You passed the bill, became legal. Then now you're taking children because of it? Really? It makes absolutely no sense. They're taking children even if they walk in your home and you have a bottle of wine.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Even
I
if they're
had
alcoholics. Yeah.
prescriptions after I had a surgery, and they tried to come into my life and say, oh, I was just this drug addict or whatever. No, I had just had surgery.
Yeah.
Like, I'd like to see you go through that and then, not have
Well,
anything for your pain.
yeah, isn't it wouldn't it be funny if somebody says, "Hey, I identify as crazy today. I identify as crazy today." So they're gonna go to court for punching a social worker, and then what? The judge is gonna
Well, nothing, because you gotta accept it, right?
accept it. It's a law. I identify as crazy today. I mean, think about it, people. You take
There's no
children
end.
from mothers and fathers because they refuse to follow the guidelines of the schools and the state saying that your child, if your child says they're a boy or a girl, well, guess what? The teachers are feeding that shit in their head.
Mm-hmm.
Getting drag queens and all that dressed in all pretty shit, right?
It doesn't need to be around the kids.
This
The
is so
kids have nothing to do
disgusting.
with that.
Oh my God.
And it's being included as a way to further the agenda. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, because they still need to be 21 to buy cigarettes, but they can make all life changes and choices.
Okay. Look at this, guys. Ramon also said 6 months baby. Yep. In adoptive home, Ramon. I hate to tell you this, baby. That baby's in adoptive home. Attorney misplaced my request. Attorney misplaced my request for family placement. And now she's on vacation. CPS won't let grandparents see him.
Mm.
Okay, first off, it's not a request, it's a law.
People don't usually know that, though.
Okay, so
What is this attorney doing?
the attorney's on vacation.
Oh,
But
my goodness.
I just finished telling you guys, it doesn't matter. They're not going to go against the state that pays their bills. They have it good. They have it better than our attorneys, actually, to be honest with you.
Oh, you talk about CPS's lawyers?
Mm-hmm. The lawyers.
Yeah, state representative, attorneys or whatever.
Way better than our attorneys. Way better. Because they're protected by the state.
Mm-hmm.
Our attorneys are not protected by the state.
Oh, they're assholes. I'll tell you that.
So all I'm telling you, Ramon, right now, your attorney that the state provided you was just to fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. So I'm sorry. I get passionate. I get pissed off because, see, no one deserves to deal with this shit. No parent deserves to deal with this. Whether you're a man, a woman, or even if you're purple and green, it doesn't matter. Now, if you're abusing your child or you're putting your child locked up in a room without food and water and you're molesting your child day and night and watching your boyfriend do it, then yes, I will make sure the child is removed from them. God, yes. But you leave those children to be molested and abused for years and years and years until they die and then come back and say it's unfounded? Bullshit.
See, they left me in a home like that as a kid, and they did it just to put me in the system, and then they tried to come after me.
Absolutely.
That's what they do.
Absolutely.
I have a question for you, Miss G.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is it possible? I just had an idea. The agencies that are like CPS in our state and stuff, could there be a team of people that start like an agency that does this right?
Absolutely.
Does it have to be CPS that actually is the ones that go out, or can it be that we can organize and actually do it right? So those people who are actually abusing their kids and need to have the kids taken, and that they could be taken and put into a proper homes and actually done the right way.
You just have to be certified. Did we lose her?
Yeah, we lost her. She's gonna come back on again.
So you just have to be certified in the state that you're in,
Right.
for the same things that like a social worker would be. And you also have to take classes and get your certification.
That's ironic that that just totally took me out of the whole show when I said that. I'm
But
sorry, I'm back.
sometimes I wonder if they're controlling that too, and I
Yes,
think they are.
absolutely.
I really do.
I'm sorry.
And
So
I
what
think,
did you say, Lindsay?
go ahead,
So you
Lindsay.
just have to be certified in that state. Just whatever the certifications are that social workers have to have in your state, you would also have to have them.
No, okay, so I mean like even like an agency, like a team of us that would
Mhm.
actually be certified, could go out and like be the ones that are called when children, you know what I'm saying? Like they have
Yeah.
more options than just CPS. I wonder if that's possible.
You can start that.
We
Yeah.
should talk about that. Yeah.
Yes,
Talk about
I
that.
just
You know
thought of
why?
that.
I'd be
Yeah,
down.
you're
Yep,
so smart,
absolutely.
Star. We should. And Lindsay, she's
Absolutely.
kind of like a Lindsay. I have to give
She's
her
a
a name.
field of information.
Yeah,
You got it all.
not at all. Lindsay is very talented.
Thank you.
She kind of puts the team together, really. And she's very eager to help. She's actually really,
Mhm.
she loves it. She enjoys it. And Star reminds me of you should have been an attorney, Star.
I've been told that I would
Yeah,
love that, absolutely, but not for the state. Not for the state.
I know. But see, it takes a, let's see. The only thing that fears me from being an attorney, is me saying to the judge, "You're a dumb ass" in court,
I've
or me,
actually done
yeah,
that.
or me telling a judge, "How stupid
Oh
were
my.
you today?"
Mhm.
So I'm gonna tell a judge, like, "Do you identify as stupid today, Your Honor?" Because
Oh my
that's what I
God.
see. You're identifying as stupid. Exactly what I would say. But Vincent told me I would be trained and coached and how to carry myself. But my passion in me is to fight.
Yeah.
It's not to sound like an attorney. Does that make sense?
Yep, and I love it.
Nothing. Thank you,
Yeah.
Liz. It's nothing against attorneys at all because Mr. Davis is a great attorney. Our office have great team of attorneys.
Yeah.
But I think about that sometimes
You
because
know what I
I
was
see
thinking, Miss?
a mother in
Oh,
pain.
sorry.
I can't process when a mother cries. I just can't handle pain on someone else because when you felt it, you know how it feels. So when you feel it,
Yep.
It
it's because
enrages you.
yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. No, it's hard for
Well,
me to
that it empowers you too, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like for me, if
yeah.
my kids and I didn't go through this, I don't think I would have had the drive and the passion to be doing what I'm doing today. I wouldn't
Absolutely.
have. And then
Yeah.
that's not saying that my kids needed to suffer or this had to happen, what I'm saying, but it empowered me to want to do this. I don't think I'd have the same passion for it.
Mm-mm. No. Did you know that we had a case where the mother said she's a prostitute, LA County, and she was actually caught by the feds. They were, you know, um, you know,
Doing a
down,
thing.
and the feds broke in the Roach Motel and found the baby crying while the mother is sleeping with men, multiple men.
Oh my God.
Did you know that mother was like, that mother said the baby was 5. That mother said, I don't care about him. Just fuck him. Take him. I don't care. Did you know they forced the mother to take the child back?
Are you kidding me?
Mm-mm.
See, they do that and it irritates me. Like kids that do need help aren't getting it, but they're
Absolutely
happy to go take a child from a good home.
right. And then medicate the child and say it's all the mother's fault that the child is distant and
Withdrawn.
withdrawn. Well, the child, I would be withdrawn too if you forced me to
Yeah.
stay at home. I don't know.
Yep.
I'm gonna retaliate too, buddy. I'll be kicking some shit down. So how are you gonna say a child needs to be medicated? You depleted idiots. Like literally, you guys are literally bankrupt from yourselves. You're so
I
far
know
off. There's
I know
no
they get money from Medicaid too, and
Mhm.
through the medical.
absolutely,
If they start taking medication, they'll get it's like quadruple dipping.
Absolutely. 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 Okay, so gotta wrap it up, guys. It's one. Oh, what time is it? Oh shit, it's 2:17. Okay.
Yeah, it's five.
Okay, so Lindsay, what are you gonna work on? What are we gonna do?
So I'm gonna get the website up and running for resources and stuff like that for the whole nation. And I'm going to search a lot of other components as well.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna stay on top of that Oklahoma story.
And Miss Star.
Well, I'm currently still battling as well in my case, and I still have so many different uncertainties that are going on. Like just trying to go visit my daughter now that my rights were restored, by the Supreme
Thank
Court
God.
is it's a problem because they want me to come to that county so bad, and as soon as I go there and go visit her, they can say anything, and that judge, as we know, is going to agree with them. Hey, she said something inappropriate. She touched her. You know what I'm saying? So I have to be so cautious in everything I do with them from this point forward. And I've literally made sure I document, everything, like
Can you
everything.
is your meeting in private or is it outdoors?
So you mean my visit?
Yes.
You talk about, okay. So they only restored and gave me 2 hours a month.
I know, but is it indoors or outdoors? Oh, damn it, Star. I'm gonna tell her after the show.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, here you are. Okay.
Yeah,
Is it indoor visit or outdoor visit? Oh, see, they're doing that. I swear, Lindsay.
Every time.
Okay, Lindsay, I'm gonna write something in the private chat and tell it to Star because I have to work on a case with Davis.
Yep.
Tell her this, okay? Outdoors.
And Miss G, if you want to reach out to me, like either tonight or tomorrow, I would like to send you some of the stuff that I've got together already. It's just like beginner stages stuff. I want you to okay it for me.
Absolutely. I'm just going to be working on this project for about 2 hours. So can you reach me after 2
Yeah.
hours? That'd be great.
Yeah.
Hey, Star, I really
they
wrote
don't
what
want me talking on here at
I
all
know.
today, do they?
But listen, I want you to read what I just wrote in the private
Okay.
chat.
Okay.
This is what you need to do. And Lindsay already saw it. Okay? So, but don't talk about it here.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes, absolutely.
Lindsay will. Can I just call you guys before I do this project real quick? Can I just call you guys back? Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Don't forget the show tomorrow. And tonight is 7:00 with Vincent and me. And we'll talk right now. All right.
All right.
Love you guys. God bless
Love
you
you.
all. Be strong and don't
Yes.
give up. Don't give
Don't.
up. All right. I'll talk to you guys soon.